Wait, hold on. I gotta stop you, Evan. What are you typing?
No, I'm not typing anything, but while I got the floor,
no, because I have a question.
It's funny you called it polyphony, because polyphony makes me think of Gran Turismo, because the dev of Gran Turismo is Polyphony Digital.
And
I didn't know it meant many voices.
Here's the thing, and I think it might have been ruined. If I'm correct, Evan started looking up how to spell the word. Again, Evan is a residential. He is a spelling bee champion
I know
in
how
Mississippi.
to spell polyphony. I don't have to look
All right, go.
up.
Do it.
POLYPHONY.
I don't know. We're gonna need a referee for this stuff. What do you think, Terrell? Was he cheating?
I don't know, bro. I don't know how to spell that shit. The fuck?
Okay.
The search of the 3 missing Montgomery College students continues in Frederick County.
And I got to play with your wand. It was great.
Yeah, you did.
Definitely fuck.
Keep going.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to a new episode of Footage Foreplay. How y'all doing?
Hello.
Y'all try. Come on, y'all. It's a nice Saturday morning. Period. It's WrestleMania weekend. Yes, let's get to it. So welcome. We're joined by Elias. Did I say your name right? Elias?
Yes,
Elias?
you did. Yes.
Oh, I did it.
Ooh,
Okay,
I like it. I like a lion.
A lion
Me
works.
too.
Yeah, I might want to change that yay style.
Yay style. Who that? And, Kanye West. Oh, you look at you. Okay, and we're joined by Aren also. Snoop Dogg. What you know about Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Lion. Hey, I'm from the Bronx, buddy.
Hell yeah.
Okay. NYC with them rats. Welcome, y'all. How y'all doing?
We're
Doing
good,
very
man.
well. Doing very well.
Yep.
Oh, y'all just so
weather out
bubbly.
here. Good to see
In New
you.
York? Yeah, likewise. It was nice talking to y'all. Y'all came in there like models. I called y'all models all weekend at the Unnamed Footage Festival. Yeah, with your short, The Dark Watchers. Great short, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I missed y'all a little pre-chat, but yeah, tell me about y'all a little bit. How'd y'all meet, and how'd y'all start with this short and come up with this story? Let's start with you, Elian.
Yeah. Well, so I'm gonna start calling you that. There.
I'm
That's me, okay? So Aren and I know each other. It's almost 10 years now. We studied at William S. Studio in New York City as actors.
It's 12 years, man. I was 20 at the time.
God damn.
Yeah,
oh man.
Yeah.
I'm feeling old. Okay, yeah. So we studied together. We did the 2-year conservatory, and we did a couple of activities together. In the class throughout the years, and then we kind of stuck together afterwards and started working on projects together. Aren was like I shot a short right after, utilizing a lot of the people in the class, and Aren was like a huge help to me there. And then like as I started working with my company and whatnot, Aren and he really jumped in, and we've come to be like brothers. We've been through a lot together, so that's kind of our background, and he has really helped me a lot. I've been writing scripts for about almost a decade now, and he has helped me polish them all really well. So he's kind of my co-writer in crime. So
wow.
And
I never get this kind of treatment. Thank you.
As soon as the show's over, he's back to
you're his polisher. So
yeah, absolutely. So I feel like a joke went over my head there.
It did.
So yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll scale it back.
No, please. Keep it up. That's half the fun.
Period.
I'm just a little slow. I can't keep up, Tyra.
Okay.
So we've worked on several projects together, and for this project it was a bit different because for the previous projects I would bring an idea to him, I'd do the script, and he'd kind of help me ground it and really bring the character there and kind of polish it out. But with this project, he actually came to me, and maybe you could ask him about it, because like he left and came back and was like, listen, I want to do things a little bit differently this way. So I don't want to talk for him, but that was kind of how the inception of the Dark Watchers started. It started with him wanting to really pivot me and pivot our company towards found footage.
Okay, Aren, talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. So my girlfriend and I, we watch horror films like maybe once or twice a week. We go through them like crazy. Now, I am terrible with names, so I don't remember names, which really is aggravating for myself and others when I have to share it. But over time, I've just watched so much found footage, kind of analog horror style, and also just regular cinematic horror as well. But over the course of like 7 years of like living in New York, I had not gone home to Japan once to even say hi to my mom. So I went back and I spent some time there.
You want to her? The hell? You
yeah,
better go there.
I know.
Period. That's your mama. Come on now.
I got chewed out, man, like in a southern Japanese dialect, basically, which is Osaka, which is it ain't pretty, man. It ain't pretty.
I bet.
So
I see y'all movies. I can't. Okay.
But while I was there, I guess because I grew up there as well, all the juices started flowing, a lot of creativity, and I kind of brought that all back to the States, and it I just wanted to make something immediately. Ooh. I didn't want to wait on anything. I didn't want to figure out the logistics of anything. I just immediately called up Elias and I'm like, okay, we're doing something. And it can be anything. I don't care. I just want to have fun because I'm not sure if I'm sure a lot of people can actually relate to this. You start forgetting the feeling of fun when you're constantly grilling the process of trying to get something done. Any kind of artistic like endeavor that you have, it quickly turns into, okay, how are we actually going to do this? And that is a hurdle that I did not want to really deal with. I just wanted to remember what it was like to get people together, to shoot something, enjoy the shooting process, and not have any pressure with it. And my immediate thought was, I just want to grab a camera and let's go. Let's just go. So I told Elias that, and we started getting creative and cooked the Dark Watchers up, which took like maybe 2-3 months or so for us to write up a script. I immediately called up some people. We got everyone together, like all of our cast. And it was going to be a very small crew anyway, but we didn't have any logistic problems when it came to rehearsals and whatnot, and also finding the equipment, which our executive producer, again, my high school friend from Japan, actually helped out with. Like usually you have a lot of issues along the way. We did not have really any. So there was like a wind from behind with this project that kind of allowed us to get through everything. Yes, Elias, what was that?
Yeah, it's a little different because for the part of the struggle that I think any artist, especially filmmakers, have is that, especially for me, I've been writing scripts and really refining them and moving along through the process of getting a producer signed and, optioning the script. And, I had a couple of projects that got pretty far. We were in talks with A24 to actually produce something. But but it's a pandemic, and it's like, things fall through. And so that process was really draining. And when Aren came back from Japan, that energy he had was like, listen, we can do anything, but there's one rule. It has to be found footage. And for me, it was something where I was like, found footage, isn't that like gimmicky? Isn't that like trying to cheat? And I started really entertaining the idea of it. And I'm like, wait, no, this is actually a complete platform that it takes the storytelling and brings it down to its essential quality. And so that's the thing that kind of sparked my excitement for the Dark Watchers. And I was already like knee deep in another project. So, Aren, what made this project a little bit different was that I usually direct and produce everything. He took on the full role of producing, which allowed me to take on the full role of directing and being creative. So, it really worked well. And Aren's right. We did have like a bit of like a kamikaze to
Yeah, there was something very interesting about it. Like we did not have any. Yeah. And we actually, the goal that I set out, which was to just purely enjoy making something, was actually achieved. It was
fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to just shoot. So, that's how the Dark Watchers came to be.
Can we go back to the very beginning where you were talking about you guys were in a company? Can you explain what you mean there?
Yeah, so I have Polyphony Films as my production company. And so I founded it back in 2012, and it was sort of a means for me to make my films. But it kind of grew into something more of how I wanted to tell different types of stories, and I wanted to bring other people in to use a different type of storytelling that implements many voices. Like polyphony means many voices.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the time, it was really kind of starting to get
Wait, hold on. I got to stop you. Evan, what are you typing?
No, I'm not typing anything, but while I got the
Wait,
floor,
no, because I have a question.
It's funny you called it polyphony, because polyphony makes me think of Gran Turismo, because the dev of Gran Turismo is Polyphony Digital.
And
I didn't know it meant many voices.
Here's the thing, and I think it might have been ruined. If I'm correct, Evan started looking up how to spell the word. Again, Evan is a residential. He is a spelling bee champion
I know
in
how to spell
Mississippi.
polyphony. I don't have to look
All right,
that
go.
up.
Do it.
POLYPHONY.
Wait, start over. Do it again.
POLYPHONY. Yeah.
Russell, if anything, man, I was screwing up at the beginning.
Dude, I don't know. We're going to need a referee for this stuff. What do you think, Terrell? Was he cheating?
I don't know, bro. I don't know how to spell that shit. The fuck?
Okay. Now, Elias, the reason I was asking is just it seems like you're you're coming at film in a very like calculated professional way. So when Aren shows up and he's like, "Hey, let's make it only found footage," that just doesn't seem like a smart business move. As somebody who's been doing a film fest that found footage only for 10 years, that's my expert advice.
Well, it's hard. Yeah, it was. I was already sort of set. Like I had written a script when I had my son, and it was like literally a project. I was like, okay. It was actually inspired by Locke. That's like it's all on the phone. It's like a very simple contained script. I'm like, no, this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna get it done. No matter what. And what ended up happening was when he brought that idea of a found footage, it was hard for me to pivot until I saw the vision. And once I saw the vision of like, oh, this is how and for me, it was analog horror that actually, it pivoted me into like, okay, what can I do different with this genre? Because whenever I take a project on, I like the box to be able to break it. And one of the things I wanted to do was like, okay, how can you take the camera and that almost first-person perspective and utilize it in a new way? And that was when we came up with the idea.
Dude, I love the breaking the box thing because it's like that's how you push formats and genres and stuff forward. Is like people are so locked into I got to do this and this and this and this, or it's not this thing. But it's like, no, you need to figure out how to do those things and then destroy it, break it, do your own thing with it. So like,
it needs to be similar enough, but then still innovate, bring something new to the table.
That was one of the things that Elias and I were kind of clashing on, which is that I had consumed a lot of analog horror films. So my thought process was, I don't want any music. I want it just handheld. I don't want like a cinematic look. I want like more of a raw feeling where you're guessing what's outside of the actual frame constantly. So I was actually really bent on, I want it to be like a quintessential, what you will call found footage, what everyone knows it to be. And Elias was like, yeah, sure. I also kind of want to add this flavor to it as well. So he and I went back and forth as we were actually making this. It was a lot of fun doing that process.
Even our definition of found footage, we argued so much about it. And I think
I don't think we
ever came to a conclusion.
No,
he's like, found footage needs to be material that was found by someone. I'm like, okay, but where does a documentary? Documentary is this type of. It was like we were getting so caught up in the semantics of it, but it was important because there is a distinction between like a mockumentary and found footage, where it's like you found the tape and this person, the camera was actually a person who was going around recording stuff. So we were doing some things that was breaking the genre. And for me, I always lean towards psychological horror. And Aren's whole thing was like, yeah, that's not this genre. This genre is more like a visceral, literal. The purpose of the camera is to capture things that are actually happening. I'm like, right. But what if the camera's not a camera? What if it's just appearing like a camera? And that's where we start to kind of do something that for me, I want to expand on it even more as we kind of flush this idea out more.
Now, y'all came out to UF9. How long were you there?
We were there for
3 days?
3 nights. Yeah.
Okay, now given what you just talked about and like how you both were kind of coming at this genre with a different like set of your own dogma rules, right? Like these are the parameters which we can play in. Did that feel expanded at the fest or like limited? I'm curious now that you've hung out at UF if it changed anything.
Yeah.
I'll let Aren answer that.
Okay, gotcha. It expanded quite a bit. So for me, as I was watching everyone else's films, I noticed, okay, we have Drost effect here. We have actual more like cinematic looks depending on which films are being shown. Some films are actually a lot more historically what I would think what found footage is supposed to be. But when I saw how you can make it more cinematic with like when we watched Infirmary, I'm like, okay, this can expand. This can actually expand. I don't need to hold it to what I think it needs to be. I can have a hell of a lot more fun here than just doing it this way. So I'm leaning a lot more towards Elias's way now, which is, all right, how do we introduce this Drost effect? How do we don't need to do music, but maybe we can inlay it and as like a radio here and there, and we play it through that. Like, how do we incorporate new ways of breaking the foundations of it?
Yeah.
Dude, I think that's part of the like beautiful thing about InWorld too, though, is being able to do what you guys did and go, well, look, our perspective is this, so that changes our rule set to this. Like you can determine those rules by setting up the structure, the format, or the perspective right. So I think that's something that a lot of people, especially people who are just starting to make found footage or get into it, overlook. That it's cool that you guys not only caught on to, but like, I don't know, you feel it in the movie. It's like, oh, this is different. This is like,
thank you.
They're doing their own thing.
Quick question. Is anyone picking up any noise from me? Because some people outside are making noises. I just want to
every now and then I'll hear it, but I can drop it all in post, so you're good.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'm going to actually close my window real quick.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, this is not an incredibly formal interview. Just like it all becomes. I actually, it sounded like you had somebody out there. Oh, there you go.
Sound like a weed eater or a mower or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, right, dude, grass got to be cut,
Listen, it's springtime. I tell my neighbors, stop doing it because you're making me look bad. I don't take care of my yard. So
whatever.
To kind of piggyback off of that, like the ARG stuff really inspired me because that's something that I always wanted to do. And actually, as we move forward and with Polyphony, it's something we want to do, which is like because films are sort of being devalued with the streaming process. It's like it's just another thing that you flick through. Whereas before it was like, man, I really love this film. I want to get the DVD. I want to get the bundle again, which is what I loved about your festival because it brought that excitement back to the tangible things that surround a specific project. We don't really have that as much. I think A24 is like the only company that really does that. So what we want to do with our films is it isn't just the films. Maybe part of the film is an experience. I always think back to The Dark Knight. I don't know if you're familiar with the Why So Serious campaign. It was so fucking good. Oh my God.
No, I'm not.
So what they did was they had a website that had a timer on it. And then it was whysoserious.com. And then when the timer went off, it basically jump-started this entire campaign of this like alternate reality. Like there was a Gotham Times website. There was Gotham Tonight episodes that you can go and see with the actors, like Aaron Eckhart, Gary Oldman, all of them. And they're giving you background on the in-between time between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. And what's so cool is in all of this, the Joker's reaching out to you because he's got a plan. And he's actually putting messages in the newspaper.
I didn't see that.
It's incredible. Like you're getting.
I love Batman. The fuck?
Yeah, he's actually. That film inspired me going to filmmaking. But yeah, it was just
okay.
Yeah. So
I love that.
You would get. It was so good. You got these. I got a bundle of newspapers from the Gotham Times, and in it, like literally, there's an ad that's like handsome man with charismatic smile looking to employ people. Send your resume to this email address, and then when you respond to that, you start getting phone calls, and there were scavenger hunts, all kinds. It was incredible. Look it up. Why So Serious? It was viral marketing at its best.
Oh, I love that. So I didn't even know
that's early too, because that's
it was incredible.
That's,
yeah, there you go.
2006 or something when that movie came out. So that's pretty ahead of the curve.
And you'd have to fill out puzzles, all those. It was incredible. People
really cool.
showed
the
up.
Joker.
They had protests. Actually, I partially, I feel like this actually captured some of that protest culture that was just starting to develop. This was right around the time or right before Occupy Wall Street. So it's like people, and the recession was it was 2008. So the recession was just happening. So people were kind of pissed. So it kind of channeled all of that. And people were like learning how to protest with this. It was incredible. So it's like, this is an experience, and there are clues in here that are actually, they inform the film. And so it's like, if you can make a film that's more than just a film, I think that's the future, because films have lost so much value because of streaming and because of social media. So I don't know how we got into this. Oh yeah. So when I went to UF, I felt that experience there. I brought it back. That we felt that, when you handed us that VHS case, I was like, my God, yes. Like it's exactly that feeling of like, this is something more than just a festival,
Yeah, and again, he's talking about our badge box, one of the worst financial decisions we ever came up with. But I mean, I can't, it's like, what are we going to do? I really do want people to feel like they're a part of the Film Fest. Film Fest can feel kind of cold, and like you show up and then there's stuff going on, but you're just there to be like a butt in a chair. And it's like, with found footage horror, we want people to talk. Yeah, well, network and also like talk about these movies. Like, I mean, in person, like these films may never show in a theater again. So, and when you mentioned ARG originally, did you get to see Alex Hara's The ARG Gathering?
Yeah.
20. Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Aaron was going around doing some of the puzzling. I was like, I'm not smart enough for this. So
I still have the CD.
I just follow you at the end.
I have the CD, but I don't have anywhere to like put it into, so I can't play it yet, man.
I think an external CD drive, like a Blu-ray player, they're not that bad, and you can plug them in.
$20-$30 you could get a USB.
Oh, okay,
drive.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, because it's now just sitting right here.
Here, I'm asking for the voice of Uffy. Shout out, Chris. Have you guys tried the game that was included with your VHS box?
No, I have not yet.
Dude,
you don't need to go play.
Somebody try it.
I know.
The other problem. There's stuff like that in that box, and I think our weekend is so packed, like that people open it, look at it, go cool, and then just kind of bring it with them, and then they go home, and it's like, So again, there is a demo game in there that I will not get into here, but try it out. And I'm glad that you guys hung. You know what? We should do this again. The Dark Watchers. Just I have Film Freeway open. Do you have this on IMDb? Have you put it up?
Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Did I put everything up yet? Maybe. You can check and see.
Evan,
I
could you
know
find
there's
it?
a page
Because
yeah.
Okay. So
you can go
again,
and check and see. I think that the basics are up there.
Your film, The Dark Watchers, a documentary follows two park rangers as they investigate an abandoned vehicle deep in a remote forest. Their search leads to unsettling objects and a strange young man with no memory of who he is or how he got there. I'll just
Since you brought up,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you brought up park rangers, and it just made me think. I have a question, and I'll forget it if I don't get it in now. What was the inspiration for making them park rangers? Because my mind instantly went to Firewatch, and I know we talked, Aaron, at the fest about like video game influences, and you mentioned like Alan Wake and Control and stuff. So I was just like, I wonder if they played Firewatch too, and that's where the park ranger element.
I haven't, and I'm going to put it on the list now. It was okay. It was a combination of two things. So it was hard for me. Sometimes it's hard for me to get an idea that like hooks me. So I won't fish for it. I'll just kind of I will fish for it. I won't go after it. I'll let it come to me. And so Aaron was just coming up with ideas and was like, this could be as simple as like a witch in the woods, or just two park rangers going in. And then I was like, immediately the Alan Wake image of like Saga Anderson and the cops going into the woods. I was like, I could do that with park rangers. I can make this like cops in the woods. That works. And that's where it connected. I'm like, okay, that's different. So it's cops It's supposed to be like cops, but with rangers in the woods.
Okay.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah. That's kind of how it happened.
I know Aren had mentioned this too at the fest in terms of the cops thing. What camera did y'all shoot on, and were you trying to get? Because we talked about trying to make it era appropriate.
Hold on, Russell, I have the answer for you finally, man. Hold on. I
told Aren, I said, get the answer of the camera that we shot.
Because I have the list of all the equipment that we have here. If
As
it
a
would
director,
just open for me.
it's such a shame. It's a Sony PZW. Something.
It's a Sony PXZW Z90. So it's a camcorder, but it has a Zeiss lens. So it was gorgeous, man. It shot so low light, it was ridiculous. Went down to like f1.5 stops at one point while we were shooting. Oh my God, man! Because we actually didn't have enough lighting, to be honest, while we were on that shoot. Like we didn't have places where we can hook things onto trees high up and whatnot. So it was just one person pushing this huge ass light up. And we were trying to make sure that we can get it to focus, but it was focusing. It was awesome.
Yeah, you would never guess.
Different.
That's
so tiny. You would that's it, and you would never think
4K?
that little thing. It's incredible. Yeah, it's 4K. Yeah. The zoom on that thing. I'm like there's in the scene. I mentioned this to one of you guys. There's a scene with Eleanor and Aren. Eleanor, my sister, she plays Eleanor, and they're like having a talk, and the camera's supposed to be like far away, snooping on them, and the zoom on that thing just I was pretty far away, and it made it feel like I was 5 feet away.
This close.
Yeah, it kind of killed it. Like we got to figure out the next time we shoot how to get that better.
You know what? That camera is really user friendly for anyone that doesn't really know how to use a camera.
Yeah,
it's finicky.
Stabilization's really good.
Yeah, it's finicky in the, I accidentally pressed a different button, because it has a crap ton of buttons where you want to be able to place your hand, but it is such an easy camera to just pick up and go. And the autofocus is like...
Yeah, and one of the things that we did a little bit different, so you don't normally see this with found footage unless it's a higher budget, is we wanted to shoot at night, right? So it's like I was like, let's get some wide shots at night, and that's like, okay, then you need lighting. And so, like Aren said, I basically cheated. I had a guy stand with a light, and I zoomed in and zoomed out, but it was just enough light to capture them, and also capture the environment enough so that you see what they're walking through. And that camera did it. Like another camera wouldn't have been able to do that. This is part of the reason why you don't have night scenes in most found footage gets very close. It's like, they focus on the reactions because it's so hard to shoot like in the woods at night. You need to put lights everywhere. So that camera allowed us to do things that we wouldn't normally be able to. So really good, really highly suggested.
Yeah, again, we don't know anything about cameras.
Y'all speak a different language to me. I'm just like, okay,
well, someone asked.
Autofocus.
Yeah, dude, I don't.
Y'all funny.
Looking at it, I read
likes cameras.
Well, dude, I read camcorder, and I'm like, wait, is this shooting on video? And it can't, right?
It shoots. What do you mean, like on cassette?
Like it's digital. Right?
No,
it's digital. It's a digital camera.
Okay.
It's a digital camera. Yeah, it's not shooting on a cassette. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm like, how is it shooting 4K?
Dude, that thing's shot so cinematically, like we would have to bring down the quality of the footage later on. That's how
I had to really...
Yeah. We have to break
the
down.
degradation looks good. The degradation, the
degradation. What's that mean? You using all these big ass words. You ain't that smart. Degradation.
The VHS fuzz they added.
Oh, thank you. I said, dumb it down for a bitch. Come on now.
To quote my sound designer, to shitify, the shitifying.
The shitification of it. Yeah, exactly.
Period. There you go.
I was like, is there any way that we can make it sound more like VHS? He's like, what do you mean? Like, a little more muffled. More like shit. Like, more like shit.
Sure.
Yeah, it's funny. We know exactly what you're talking about now. As you guys were, I'm glad you were happy with it. But when you came out, you were part of the second short block, which opened up Saturday, and we actually had Uncle Rewind come out and do an intro for it. And again, that's part of our whole virtual program. And we have all those like format cartoons as part of what we would consider like pirate TV. Like it's like a TV channel that takes over, right? And everybody has like we play with formats differently based on what they are. And of course, Uncle Rewind is a VHS tape. So we had to do all that too. And it's crazy how many choices you have to make. Like the hum, the static, like the aspect ratio, what should be in or out of that. Like everything is like, you're almost like, I mean, we're imitating a kind of dead format, which.
Well, that's actually what's interesting about analog horror. Like I one of the inspirations for this was the back rooms, right? And the back rooms, I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's analog horror.
Oh, we showed it.
To be like, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we showed it year 5.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Wow.
But it's done by a kid who, like, I think now he's like in his 20s, but at the time he was like 16, I think. He wasn't alive when this format was out. So when you look at it, you're like, oh, yeah, that is very nostalgic, but it's widescreen. It's not 4:3. You know, that's actually something we had to decide on. It's like, you know, we shot it wide, but we decided to crop it down to 4:3 because it just does something. It creates this nostalgic, almost compressed personal feeling. And what's interesting is that we're getting this. This happened with Late Night with the Devil too. It's like it's not really the old format, but you're emulating it, so it's this weird version. And this, I think, plays into the dreaminess of things. It's like it's not. It was never actually this. It was much shittier than this. You know. Like if you go back and watch your cassettes, like, oh fuck, I gotta do the tracking. I forgot about tracking. You know,
it's how you remember it, right? Because it's kind of like going back and playing a video game from your childhood and going, man, this is pretty shitty. Yeah. Like, you know, like because you remember it as being better than it was. So it's kind of the same. It's the rose tinted glasses thing, you know?
Yep, that's exactly it. And so we're getting this weird version of the retro, but it's actually much better than what it was. Originally.
So, you know, on this show, we talk a lot about why we think trends happen. And we're now in an era where, like, the stigma's pretty much gone from found footage horror and broadly in-world camera. And I'm curious what you guys think is happening. Like, why do you think analog is kind of in vogue now? Or people are, like, drumming it up?
I have a lot to say, so Aren,
so please.
No. For me, I never really researched into that, but what I do know is that so recently I've been told that anything that is vintage is like 30 years ago, right? So we just went through a huge 80s thing, right? And pointing case, it's like 30 years ago kind of a thing, 30, 40 years ago kind of a place, right? So we're kind of finishing up with the 80s. And it seems like we're starting to hit the 90s where the millennials or the early Gen Zs would remember. So this chase for nostalgia is probably a consistent thing throughout time whenever it comes to entertainment. So that's my theory on it. I can't back it up in any way, but that's it. Elias will give you all the information.
I thought about this a lot. So I think there's two answers here. There's the more intuitive, like, what is the zeitgeist of our time answer? And then there's the more like math answer, right? So I think the math, I'll start with the boring one. The math answer is horror always sells. Found footage is cheap to make. And right now the industry is all over the fucking place and people are going, oh, well, we can make that, and it's pretty easy and it's pretty low risk, you know. And so I think that, like, right now, God damn, what's the name of the Blumhouse? They just commissioned all these found footages to be done. They're going back to Blair Witch. They're going back to paranormal, you know. And I do think
Activity,
Paranormal Activity, right? So they're going back to these because they've realized at this point now they've become franchises, right? So that makes them safe, and then they're safe to produce because it's pretty easy to produce, right? So I think that's the like boring math answer for why we're pivoting to it now. I think the more interesting answer is like, why did this take off on the internet, like with analog horror? What is this desire for nostalgia? I think partially because right now times are really, really scary. You know, for a lot of people, it's like, where the hell are we going with things? You know, the politics, the economics, everything. But and so I think especially the 90s, it was this weird time of like peace. You know, it was like there was no world powers other than the U.S. Right? Like there was just something about it. There was something about the aesthetic of the 90s that was like very like in your face, but almost like anything could happen. Like the internet wasn't scary. It was like, oh, we can go to the internet. It's great, you know? But I think that there is this thing in our collective mind of like the dangers of what technology has done to us. And the inception of that was this VHS stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like this is, it's like, you know, you know, in Terminator, how like they go back in time. It's like, where was that one point where Skynet started? And like the VHS is that. And so it harbors for you. And this is why I love analog horror. It harbors nostalgia. It pulls you to it. And you're like, oh, I missed that. But then beneath it is this thing of control, consume, and ultimately isolation. And this is something we're going to talk about in our films, right? Because what does social media do? It isolates you. And it puts you in a bubble. And that's where we are now. We're in this bubble. So I think this format is sort of trying to struggle on how to process that. That's my theory.
That, you know, I think you're completely right. And the only thing I would add to it is I think we're in a like perfection burnout. I think even as AI gets more and more better, like more and more better, as AI improves, it
somebody should have AI'd that sentence.
Right? Yeah. Can you fix that in post?
The same.
Well, you know,
You
it's
said
like,
what I thought.
dude, beauty's in the imperfection, right? And I think there's something about the imperfect format that kind of bleeds authenticity, even though we're like recreating it, and it's like completely I mean, Uncle Rewind's a cartoon character, and we're like adhering to these old formats, and it's funny, but I do think there is something communicated there, and
Yes. It's
I
analog.
think even another
It's
layer to
tangibility.
that is like the fucked up like nature of just tech in general right now, and like there's this whole like kind of unplugged subculture where like people are downgrading their stuff to like iPod shuffles, and like they're getting rid. You know, it's like there's
Evan, that's so true, man. The iPod shuffles are coming back.
I need that. I'm kind of done with my iPhone, I'll be honest. I'm like, I want a flip phone, you know, to some degree.
Yeah, see, and I think that whole mindset too probably feeds into this like fascination with the older tech, because like there's a desire to go back to that stuff in a lot of ways from a lot of people, you know.
Yeah, well, the new tech will enslave us soon. So,
Soon.
dude,
What are you talking about?
I mean, you know, with AI, I just again, I apologize for this tangent now, but as it gets better and
Here we
better
go.
and becomes
I know.
unleashed, no, well, because the
He
main
loves
thing,
AI.
dude, well, the thing is, I just think about like encryption and stuff, and how a lot of currency has gone digital, and I'm like, dude, that's all gonna be wiped. And I keep thinking of what was it Battlestar Galactica? The new one where it was like that whole show is based on the premise of the one ship that was analog. Like it wasn't on the main network. And that's the only reason why they were able to get out of there. So now, you know, we're talking about format, and you know, like the whole thing that's pushing pirating movies again is people are unable to find the film they want to watch. And we have like the new cable, all these streaming services, but then you know, you could still be like, how the fuck am I going to watch this movie? I do it like
can't own it
you
anymore.
still need my Plex to find the movie you want.
You don't.
I'm
you
not
don't
trying to fuck with
own
the
anything
FBI
anymore.
like that. Yeah. I mean, we do. Terrell's here right now. How many movies you got, Terrell, physical media? Blu-ray only.
Oh, about 6,000 something.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That doesn't count
that's wonderful.
Where the
DVD
hell
though.
are you putting it
That
all?
doesn't count.
Oh, it's all over the place. Let me tell you.
His home is
That's
built
wonderful.
of Blu-rays.
Yep. Period.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's the technology is innovating so quickly. It doesn't make sense to invest in things physically, like a car, right? A car's going to break down in a year. You do something else. The phone is the same way, you know. Like most technology, even houses, we're getting to the point where people don't even want to, and they can't buy houses; they're just renting. And so there's this kind of thing that I think it's this like subconscious feeling of like, wait, hold on, I don't actually own this, you know.
Yeah.
And there's something to actually saying, I have this, I can access it at any time. It's a sense of freedom
Period.
to some degree.
Do you collect
right?
physical media? Because it's great just to hold it in your hand.
That's my new thing. I love opening up. I miss opening up and reading the
the
pamphlets.
plastic.
And there's like little
smelling
extra
it.
stuff in
Yes.
You know,
and they be having all kinds of extra shit that you can't get off of Netflix.
Yes.
Especially with the video games, you'll be like, oh, that's
the
character got drunk before the there's
like
this
little
information
booklets. Yeah.
How many of those booklets have you ever read, Terrell?
None of them. It's cool to look at. Period. I'm not through the pages. You don't read either. Shut up.
No, I was gonna say, I came at that like I was gonna be highbrow or something, but I think that's just everybody. It's like, I love, Criterion. I did make a attempt. And I used to be like, I'm going to read the book before I watch the movie. And like, who the fuck am I?
No, it's too many tiny words. I feel like
we're only a decade away from some young, bright Gen Zer going, you know what would be sick is if somebody took all of their physical media collection and they put it in a building, and for a small fee, they would let you borrow one of these overnight.
That sounds dumb as hell.
Let's do it. Let's start it now. Bring back the blockbusters.
I miss Blockbuster. That was so fun going to Blockbuster.
Oh my god! I have a whole rant on Hollywood Video. So I'm gonna say it.
Go ahead. We're here. Let's do it. Hollywood Video.
My favorite. Okay, I'm gonna get close for this. My favorite candy was Zowers. Okay, sour my
Jesus.
I'm so good. Oh my god,
Candies.
They were so good. Okay, but they were called Zowers, and the reason why I love them so much, other than the fact that they were amazing, is that they came out when Hollywood Video first opened. So there was kind of like some sort of like, I don't know,
association,
cooperation between association, where it's like, hey, this Hollywood Video we have, and what Hollywood Video did, as you remember, it made you feel like you're going to the movies, and that was one of their like premier candies that you would go to at every Hollywood Video. It was Zowers. So I would get Zowers, I'd get a video, and then I'd get a video game. That was my thing.
Hell yeah.
Fuck it. Let's pull up Zowers. I've never seen this before.
They're just.
I'm on it.
They're discontinued. There it is.
Yeah, but I want to know what that looks like.
During the pandemic.
Oh, really? I never had that before. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god, they're addictive. They're so good. And if you were a box of those, I found one on eBay for selling for $500. That's how much.
It's gonna stick to your teeth. It's gonna be sour. You're gonna be sour.
Terrell, there's nothing in there that will go bad
again. Right? This goes back to what we were saying, the nostalgia element, And so I'm so brokenhearted that they're discontinued. So
it's funny when you were talking about like depreciation of assets, right? Like houses and how people aren't buying stuff. It's funny because like fiat currency seems to be up and down the most. So a lot of the time it's the art that you can fall back on and be like, you know what?
That's what I was going to say.
This Charizard's held value. I wish I kept
mine. Yes, I used to have mine. Mine got stolen. I had that first edition holographic.
I know
you had the first edition
holographic.
Yes, I did. My dumbass took it to middle school, and them kids stole my shit. I was almost crying. I was so mad.
That's like $50,000 right there, bro. That's a lot of money.
I know. And them kids probably sold it for $2, or they went to Hollywood and got some Zowers with that shit.
Wait, hold on.
That's what they did.
I can imagine now. They're like Buffy Boy brought a Charizard.
Make sure it wasn't bootleg, because that's
I know. No, I got it in a
they had those bootleg cards.
Because I used to do chores every week for my grandma, and she would get my Pokemon cards. So I would get it, and I would open it up, and I just screamed in that card. She thought I died, but because I was so happy to get that card. I was telling everybody that was my first mistake. You learn lessons as you get older. And
that's like basically like it's an investment plan, man. I used to go back and forth between Japan and the States when I was a kid, and I would always bring back Pokemon cards. Right? I would always, when I was really young, and I would trade them all off. I was such a dumbass. I probably should have just kept it in a clear binder. Like what kind of kid's doing that? But you keep it in a clear binder. But dude, people have that as like a retirement plan. It's like legit.
Yeah.
Well, Aren, we're talking about Japan again, and I wanted to ask you originally.
Well, he jumped back. He
here's the hold on.
If it's
Excuse
Pokemon
me.
knowledge, I don't know enough. So.
Well, hold on. No, you want to call me out?
Best Pokemon.
We have 5 people.
I'm a Bulbasaur kind of guy. Boba.
Okay.
Look, we got 5 people in this chat.
Number 1.
For me, it was Mewtwo when he went like this. I'm sorry, Russell. I'm talking.
No, you're good.
That moment when he went like this and he made the storm, I was like, oh, that's my guy.
Talking over each other is this whole show. That's what we do.
For everybody out there listening, I just want to point out there are 5 people in this room. How many of y'all have a Pokemon tattoo?
You do. You have Geodude.
Okay, thank you. I got a Geodude and a Zubat on me. So I just want to point out
there must be somewhere we can't see.
20 years ago, he lost a Pokemon argument, and he was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get a Pokemon tattoo so that no matter how bad I get into a Pokemon hole, I can always just be like, yeah, well, do you have a fucking tattoo, bro?
No,
so and one day I'm on a conversation with 5 people. Yeah. I can be the best one at this.
Dude,
right?
Actually, everybody who listens to the show knows how much of a contrarian I am. So I did it to celebrate, I did it to celebrate, pop art in a way that nobody gave a fuck about. And then it slowly switched. And then I started getting compliments on it. And I was like, oh, no, I made a terrible choice. So that's where I'm at.
I see.
No, and, I brought up Japan just because in America, our culture with in-world camera stuff is like the Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity, which was made, they did well in the box office, but culturally people resented them, or they said fake, I never believed it. And there was kind of this adversarial relationship. But in Japan, there's been kind of a thriving culture of found footage. I mean, Koji Shirashi is somebody who we consider maybe the best filmmaker.
Yeah, we love Koji.
And I'm just, did you feel any of that while you're out there? Did found footage even come up?
While I was in Japan?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but then again, I was also younger, right? So I was between the ages of 11 and 20. So it's not as though I was immersed in film at the time. I was actually more of a dancer at the time.
You a dancer?
So I was,
yeah. What kind of dancing?
So not lap dances, Terrell. Calm down.
Yeah, I can do it, though. I'm pretty damn good at it. I was a theater jazz dancer and also a tap dancer.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Get it. Okay. Period.
Yeah, so I got them jazz hands, and I can still do the lap dance with the jazz hands.
Oh.
Period.
Girl, I only take 20s. So
you should watch Curb Dance. Dead. It's a short film by Harmony Korine.
Who is that?
Oh, no.
What is that?
That shit probably stupid as hell. Harmony Korine.
Corman. I love that he marries Harmony Korine and Roger Corman every time he says the name.
I will say natural, there is a disgust, an okay for, it's more taboo. What I've consistently found between America and Japan, though, is that, holy crap, what did you just pull up?
I don't know.
What did you pull up? What is this?
To be clear, I have this is Curb Dance.
I can do that. You want me to do that right now?
That looks. Is he high, drunk? He on meth?
This looks problematic.
He just looks slightly a little unwell, but very happy.
Something wrong. He escaped from the asylum. Look at this.
So this is typical New York City subway behavior.
Oh, really? With the rat.
The audio, he's giving a monologue.
Listen, don't ostracize your audience. Elias is spot on with that. What I do find consistently between America and Japan is that America has more taboo conversations, but we talk about a lot of different things. I sit down with you and I'll immediately get to know all your problems within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and whatnot. Wow. And we'll get really close very quickly in America. Over in Japan, we don't necessarily talk about what your personal problems are immediately, but taboo conversations are not really taboo as much. There's much more an okay or an acceptance of being able to speak about a lot of different things, except for all your personal problems. So,
so anything that
they don't want to hear it.
Well, it makes sense. That's why there's a whole suicide forest and stuff, right? It's the culture. You just bottle shit in until you feel like walking into the woods and killing yourself.
That's exactly it. Yeah, so that oppression, I think breeds a really violent aspect that comes out. So it wouldn't surprise me at all that there's a lot of grotesque films in Japan. No,
it's funny. It's funny you brought it up, Russell, because Japanese cinema and Japanese horror in particular is my favorite form of horror, and there is something different. Oh yes,
all them
there's
ghost
something
stories?
very different. You know what it is? There is something. Aren has helped me try to figure this out, because for me, like, my muse, I've said this a billion times, but my muse for horror is Silent Hill 2. I just absolutely love that game.
Did you like that new movie? Let's cut you off. Did you like Return to Silent Hill?
I did not. Listen, they gave James Sunderland a Corvette. Like, stop. Just stop.
I also loved the movie. I did not like it, but I was just interested to see what you thought.
I haven't watched it. I kind of don't want to give them my money, so at some point I'll get around to it. But I'm not a fan of any of those movies. The first movie did its own thing, but no, it's just that when you see the source material, it's like, please just
got it.
There.
Yeah, and Terrell, we talked about it immediately after the Q&A. Walking.
Oh, you did?
I think
because you love the movie.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I love the game so much. Yeah. So, well, maybe it does its own thing, but as being faithful to Silent Hill 2, and I'm a little jealous because I wanted to direct a Silent Hill 2 game.
Really?
I really wanted, and this was before they did the remake and everything. Like, that's how much it has inspired my horror. But one of the things that I really love, it's hard because the older game, it's like everyone was saying, sometimes the voice acting, you're like, are they being creepy or they're just acting bad, But there is something that Aren helped me kind of extract from it.
This was actually interesting.
And there's a couple of things about Silent Hill in particular that I think that people who have tried to emulate it, which a lot of people have, like Stranger Things and a lot of video games have tried to copy the formula, they miss. And it is this this idea that there's a lot of subtext. Things aren't necessarily as visceral. And even in the remake, as superb as it was, there were moments that I'm like, it was better in the original because it was less in your face. And this part of this is Japanese, I believe it, and we've talked about this, is Japanese culture. It's not in your face a lot, and this goes back to Kurosawa as well. A lot of what's inside is extroverted in the environment, right? So you don't need to say things. And then a lot of times when the characters engage, what they're saying, they're talking past each other, but there's this subtext underneath that is being communicated. And Aren actually went with me through the original game, and he started translating it in Japanese. He's like, that's a lot creepier in Japanese, actually. That actually, his facial expression makes much more sense if you make it Japanese. It's really fascinating.
There's something that happened definitely with the translation that, whenever you translate any kind of language, there's going to be a lot of missing information. There's no way around it, because a lot of languages, the more languages that you can access different emotions as well, because they're intrinsically tied to words as well. A lot of emotions. So there are also a lot of tropes in characters in Silent Hill 2, in the game itself, that I'm like, okay, if this was a Japanese character, this actually makes sense. And translated this way, it would make sense. There's a lot of missing information when you translate it to English, and then you have American actors make choices on it. It's going to come off a little strange, mainly because English relies on low context conversation. So we're talking about, we explain everything, right? We in a conversation, we don't assume that the other person has the same amount of information. We assume that we have separate kind of understanding of something. So we explain everything to get a mutual understanding. Over in Japan, there's more high context conversation. So we don't talk about a problem, we talk around it, and we describe everything around it to get to the understanding of the problem. But you need a lot of shared information. So a small island country that has a lot of similar values can actually do that, because if the cultures are very similar, you're not going to have to over-explain anything. There's just innately some understandings in your day-to-day life, right? But so I think the UK is very similar to that. There's more high context conversation. So
especially when they insult you.
Yes. which tend to be beautiful
like
words. We love that.
I'll never forget. Like I had a jacket on, and someone was like, "Oh, you like those type of coats?" Like, what's wrong with my type of coat? It was just implied.
Oh, you got red by you
What's wrong with it?
That is so good. Okay.
Yeah, so it's interesting how that actually worked out for Silent Hill 2's game in the States. Like, for me, it always actually came off a little strange. But when I started, like, because Elias is so into Silent Hill 2, he loved it. I used to play with him, but I'm actually, like I said before, I'm a 1v1 kind of person. So I don't actually play a lot of puzzle-based games. And also because the controls are clunky, I get pissed. Because I can die. Yeah, they're
the original.
Like,
the original.
He plays 1v1 fighting games where the controls are everything. They have to be perfect, or it's like.
That's exactly it. So, but because he loves it so much, over time I would just consume a lot of it. And then the other day, this was like 3 months ago, I actually started kind of going, why is the dialogue a little strange? Like, what is it about this atmosphere that is so enticing for everyone? And the more I looked into it, it was like, oh, this is a translation error that worked well here. And it was a happy accident somehow that this probably happened. That's my theory behind it. I could be completely wrong, but that's what I believe probably happened. And it became such a cult following.
I think he's right also, because then we would look at the same scenes in the new remake, and the new remake is much more high context. It's much clearer, but it's also clearer.
It's clearer.
It's like the acting is clearer. You get, oh, this is dark. Oh, this person's sad. Oh, I see, this is mysterious. But you do lose a little bit of like the mystery of like, they know something I don't know. They're talking to each other in a language I can't understand. And it's because these characters are so disconnected. Like, they're in Silent Hill. There's a reason why they're being pulled there. You know, so they're supposed to be inaccessible to some degree. And that's the thing I really like. You know?
Yeah, man, that's really interesting. I've always looked at what I never even considered was a translation issue, but I always just thought it was kind of like a David Lynch approach where you want to kind of nurture the enigma. And like, if people don't know exactly what's going on, then they'll be actively like engaging and thinking. And it just kind of feels like an uncanny valley effect. And, you know, I have an opportunity now because we're in this room. Again, I did not love the remake. I really liked it. And it's because it didn't really work well. And I
thought, the game?
Well, no, the movie. So the new Silent Hill movie. It's kind of a mess, but it feels like they were really trying to stay true to the video game, which made me think about, well, what do I want from a video game movie? Because I'm not a fan of like the Mila Jovovich Resident Evil movies.
Yeah,
because they're so removed.
I'm going to take the franchise and just destroy it. Do my own thing.
But you know,
I liked it.
I think they were better too. Like I think if I were to say, like, I don't know, I think they were better movies than the Silent Hill movies, in my opinion.
Period.
Yeah, well, you know, I think if they were just rebranded, it would have been fine. But I'm like, why even tie it to the IP when it's not really like the soul of what's going on here?
Yeah.
And I actually think it's part of the reason why Resident Evil made a more action-based decision moving forward.
I agree. Yeah.
So the survival horror element, which is so apparent in that new Silent Hill movie where we have our protagonist picking up pipes. And again, this high context, low context thing is so perfect for that because he doesn't really say why. It's like, this is kind of a weird weapon. But on top of that, we've been taught through like years of cinema that like heroes kind of don't do that. Like, I would always point to like Hercules, the TV show, and it's like, why didn't that fool ever pick up a sword? Like, I mean, I know why, because
he didn't need to. He's too strong.
Yeah, but I mean, still, cut somebody in half. That's what I wanted, but you know, that's not the show. But still, Harry's like picking up a fucking pipe, and it's like, that just doesn't. That's not even like a glamorous weapon. That seems like kind of like rough.
But you have all the years of context from the games to know that, that's exactly what you do.
Yeah. Well, it's James.
It's James. And but they don't put such a fine point on that either in the movie. So you just kind of have to know. But I do think, and I mentioned this to you as we were walking out of the theater, that the movie actually translates better as like a Deadly Premonition movie. And I don't know if any of you have played the game, but here's the trailer just so I could show you, because I actually think it feels a little bit like your movie too, Like,
oh, okay.
Like you made a more polished, sensical version. Because again, there's a lot of Twin Peaks here.
Oh, okay. Yes, I wanted to play this.
It said, tomorrow you'll arrive at a place that will change your fate.
But see, this is all kind of like
really
abstract, nonsensical. It could be taken goofy. Also, the game is a lot of meandering in a car and drinking coffee.
Kill the audio.
Is it as scary?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know what this is.
It's Deadly Premonition. This is a cult classic that came over, and it kind of...
How cult? I never seen this. What game?
I've never seen it either,
PlayStation
but
2?
I want to play it.
Look it up.
Yeah, it looks like PlayStation 2.
They remastered
PlayStation 2.
That
Dude, this
fit
thing
was sexy. I like that one.
Well, this game...
word of advice: if you get it on PC, get it on GOG. Don't get the Steam version of this because it's
GOG?
fucked.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why?
the Steam version is not the new.
Yeah, it's over my head too.
It's broken.
Yeah, it's weird.
GOG
language.
is a different
GOG
platform other than Steam, and it's like a DRM free platform. So it's better because you actually own the game. You don't need the platform to launch it like you do Steam.
Cool.
But
Okay.
but the version on there is fixed. The old PC release for Deadly Premonition is pretty broken. And they never fixed it. In that version, they still just sell it on Steam. So
It's kind of what happened with the
that
original Silent Hill 2. They lost the original one. They lost the master copy, so the HD collections is missing stuff. So
again, Deadly Premonition, it borrows a lot from Twin Peaks, which I
can
when
see.
I watched The Dark Watchers, that was my first thought. Is that you
Really?
have kind of like the Pacific Northwest, like a foggy kind of forested area, and then we have a couple of characters who kind of had a I don't know, being a ranger is not really mundane, but they seem like heightened reality characters. Like
I don't know, Russell. Elias loves you now, man. You just said
Yeah,
the right
man,
word.
but keep going, Aaron. Don't interrupt him. Keep going, please.
I think it's beautiful. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Cops. That's kind of where my voyeurism, I think, started, where we get to kind of abruptly interject into people's worst moment in their lives and look around their house. And there's nuance in the way that show was captured that you guys managed to do perfectly here too. So
thank you.
It's kind of
that's something I wanted to try to capture. It was a little tricky.
And I told you there's something about the cameraman in the back seat filming the two people up front that is such it's such a art form of authenticity. If you do that incorrectly, it'll feel like a lie. And then maybe I'm only 1% of the audience, but I would be like, oh, fuck you. But y'all nailed it. And
okay, great.
Yeah, so you kind of
it has that same effect where it makes your mind run, right? Of the like you said with the games, you'll be engaged because you don't know exactly what's going on. And for me, it had that sort of when you mentioned Control at the fest, Aaron, that was that clicked for me because it was okay, it's because it for me had the sort of SCP vibe of there is this sketchy organization who's running this thing, and your mind once you
that.
Yeah. Well, once you kind of put that together, your mind starts running wild of what else is going on with it, so I love the potential for future installments here with that.
Great, thank you. Yeah, well, we're doing a lot of social media now. That's it's sort of we started here with the short, and then we're doing the social media, and we're gonna kind of try to meet in the movie, because what we're doing with the social media is giving you those analog files of okay, this is just dream research. Oh, this is just a doctor's talking about boring stuff like the mind and the brain. But then it's okay, it's gonna eventually get
it's the Dark Knight campaign. It's why so serious.
Yeah, there you go.
It's
that's
pieces
the goal
of the story, but not in the movie.
Yeah. And we're getting to the point now, right. The timing of this podcast is kind of perfect because Aaron and I are literally just pivoting now so that the social media is going to have more little hints of things that are both going to be in the movie and also already in the short. For example, the 3 squares that we see in the short, that's going to kind of be explained a little bit more. All these little symbols and little things that we took for granted. And even in the short, they're oh, that's weird, but cool. You're going to see the background to them.
Hell yeah.
Right, well, protect that enigma. Don't spell it out too.
Yeah, don't give us too much why. you know?
Conversation.
No, I don't like that. That's actually something Aaron and I have really decided that we're not. There are things that are mostly not going to be explained. Like one of another inspiration for me that I love is the first season of True Detective, and I love how you have this whole thing going on with like the Yellow King and all that, and it's barely even explained.
Yeah,
you know, because you're so focused on the characters, and that's a bit more of the direction that we want to take this. A little less control in that sense.
Kind of
control
a Benson and Moorhead
everything.
Where are you familiar with their films? Benson and Moorhead, they have sort of a cinematic universe where like there's this underlying, there's these red flowers that pop up in all the movies, and there's these enigmatic sort of things that run across the films that, even though they explain a lot of the things in the individual films, they never give you the full answer, and so there's always this sort of mystery that you're kind of wanting to piece together.
Yeah, I think that's important because some of it, I think some of it is a feeling thing. You know, you're just like that. It felt weird or felt a certain way.
Yeah,
I'm going to take a look at that. Justin Benson and Aren Moorhead.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, they've gotten sort of sucked into the Marvel machine now, so I fear that we might not. I hope they continue making these kind of high concept, like sci-fi horror mystery things, but it's been a while now since we got one, so we'll see.
We are looking for a lot of inspiration in terms of how can we do this in a different way, in a new way. And since our genre kind of, it touches on sci-fi, how do we implement that well into this? Because then that's going to be the tough aspect of all of it, more likely. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the tool that's used is sci-fi. I shouldn't say sci-fi, but tech. It's a camera. You know, so I immediately have that.
Lucky for y'all that I actually represent a huge sci-fi fan. His name is Terrell Trotty, and if you would like to change up your films and get a new little bit of that, because he brings an energy to cinema that just has not been seen before, and he's available, so I can put you guys in contact.
Alrighty,
and he'll work cheaper because y'all are models. So
Before y'all go, I want y'all to plug all this stuff y'all were talking about, like your socials and all that good stuff. And can y'all tease something that y'all got coming up next, or what y'all in the works or in your brains before y'all go? Period.
Sure. Well, so you can follow us. You know, if you want to follow our social media content, you can follow us at the Dark Watchers on Instagram and as well on TikTok. But we also have but we also have, I know, right? But we also have a landing page if you want to enter the Red Trail. That's the.
I'm already signed up.
The next step,
I bet you
are.
Go to the description, y'all. If you're listening, we'll put that link in the description to sign up.
The Dark Watchers, the darkwatchersmovie.com. But if you guys share it, we'd appreciate it because that's gonna. We want to get people involved. We want to make this film an experience.
That's the one.
Yeah, so we want to make this an experience, and if you want to be part of that experience, follow along.
Hell yeah!
And for what we're doing, what's coming up, we're planning to take the short film and turn it into a feature. So so there's gonna be a lot more that we want to expand on. We want to go deeper with the characters because 30 minutes you can only go so much with them.
Right.
And we want to really make this a little bit more psychological and play with this format a little bit more. So,
rad. Well, Terrell can play a great bloated corpse in the river if you need a dead body.
Bloated, heavy on the bloated. Period.
Damn.
Well, you guys are awesome. This is fun. This is great. I'm glad we got to talk about video games, physical media, Pokemon, and the Dark Watchers. It was great.
Yeah, this was great, y'all.
Thank you very much, guys, for having us.
Thanks, y'all, for coming. Yep, this is it for this week's
thank you for having us.
Foreplay. All right, we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye,
everybody.
Love you guys.
That was fun.
Thanks for listening to Footage Foreplay. If you enjoy the show, please consider leaving a review, sharing it with a friend, or simply hitting like. These small gestures are a great free way to support this mayhem, and if you find some footage we should be fondling, email us at footageforeplay@gmail.com. Check back every Tuesday and Thursday for new episodes, and remember, don't skip the foreplay.